Hi everybody. My name is Megan. I am 34 years old and I have two beautiful children, and I am here to talk about bipolar disorder. It's something I've suffered from for a long time. It took me a very long time to get the proper diagnosis. Being misdiagnosed as being depressed for about 10 years was a big struggle. So I'm going to share a little bit about the disorder um, for at least my first video, and then hopefully my future videos it'll just be me and sharing some stories. Maybe I might have a bad day and I'll get on here and rant and rave and probably embarrass myself, but that's all part of me doing this. The good, the bad, the ugly. I want you guys to see it all. So let's first me try to give you guys knowledge about the disorder. For some people, you guys might be wondering, am I depressed? Am I bipolar? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I can give you some symptoms and some signs to see if maybe you should at least get a second opinion on your depression to see if maybe you've been misdiagnosed. So years ago, when I was misdiagnosed, I was put on depression medicine. Within a couple months, I was locking myself in the bathroom trying to commit suicide. Being bipolar and put on depression medicine can be very, very dangerous. I got off of that, and then a couple years later, went back to try to get help again. More depression medicine. Same outcome, locked myself in the bathroom with a knife, and I didn't want to hurt myself, literally stabbed the wall over and over again to keep from hurting myself. But that's just how strong this disorder can be, and when it's not properly diagnosed, how scary it can be. So, going to tell you guys a little bit about bipolar. It's also known as manic depressant. So some days people can feel very happy and energized, and then other days very sad, sluggish, tired, not really wanting to do anything. I will try to show both. It's very hard to handle day to day. I'm hoping when I do have a bad episode, I'm strong enough to pick up my phone and just kind of record how obnoxious I can be. But bipolar 1 disorder, that is when a person has a manic episode so severe they could end up needing to be hospitalized, and it usually lasts for about a week. Very dangerous for the person going through that if they don't have loved ones around them like I do. If it wasn't for my husband, I would probably have lived this last year in the hospital. He's very patient and understanding. I can scream at him and he forgives me just a few minutes later. That's when it takes me to be strong enough to admit, you know what, I just screwed up because of my disorder, and I apologize for how I just behaved. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes I can be so stubborn in my head, I don't give a shit what I've done wrong. I don't care. It's all about what the other person did, and that's where I get caught up in my own head. So yeah, that's not good. But anyway, so bipolar 1, like I said, it's when you have a manic episode last at least a week and you could need to be hospitalized. Bipolar 2 disorder, it's you still have manic episodes, but they're not as severe. They last for about 4 days, and last for about 4 days. So I keep saying manic. Manic is when a person feels like extremely up and energized. And sometimes, even when they're up and energized, they can be very irritable. And that's, a lot of times, that's what I get. I'll be up and energized, but the smallest little things irritate the crap out of me. And then anybody that's in arm's reach of me usually gets an earful. And it sucks, but it happens. And then There's hypomanic. That's similar to a manic episode, but it's very less severe. And that lasts for about 4 days in a row. So, difference is about 3 days. Manic lasts 7 days, hypomanic 4 days. But it doesn't mean that the people around you aren't feeling it 100%. It doesn't really matter how long it lasts. It's horrible no matter how long it lasts. Then there's the depression part of being bipolar. A person feels very sad and down, very low energy, can't really get any joy out of anything. There's times I can look outside at the most beautiful day and it might as well be pouring rain and have clouds everywhere because I don't feel the happiness that I should feel when I look outside and see the sun and a beautiful day that I could enjoy. I see that I'm trapped inside my house and sadness. It's very confusing when I know I should be like happy about it and I just can't feel that way. No matter how hard I try, I cannot feel happiness. Then there's like mixed episodes where you're feeling both. You feel depressed and you feel all up and energized. So just paint this picture in your head. You have all this energy, you're running around the house, you're cleaning up, and you're doing all this stuff, but you're depressed at the same time and irritable. So as you're cleaning, because you choose to, because you can't sit still, you're probably screaming at everyone else for not doing it, or not doing it the right way, not doing it at the right time, anything. And that's pretty unfair to like a 13 and a 14-year-old kid when they never know which mom they're going to get. The mom that's like, honey, can you just please do your dishes after you're done using them? Or how many times do I have to fucking tell you to do your damn dishes? You see what I'm saying? Things can be said more than one way. And sometimes when you're bipolar, it only comes out as one way. And that can be hurtful and mean to your loved ones. So when you're having a mixed episode, you experience the manic and depression episodes at the same time. It also can make you very impulsive, sad, everything, all at the same time. And when I get impulsive, for some reason, I like to go to the park. I climb the highest tree I can find, and I lean back and I let go. That can be very dangerous. I could fall very easily. I don't know why. That's what my impulse has me doing now. Doing something that's dangerous. Could maybe hurt myself. In the past, being impulsive included me cheating on my children's father. And I'm not saying that bipolar is an excuse for cheating. I'm just saying it can make you very impulsive and do things that you know you should not do. It's one of the embarrassing things, I guess, that I'm admitting. That I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying it made me a little impulsive, and I cheated more than one time. But there's lots of misdiagnoses between depression and being bipolar. One of the biggest things that you can realize the differences of is the presence of a manic episode. When you're just depressed, you shouldn't be feeling the manic episodes unless you are a bipolar person, manic depressant. Essentially, the presence of manic episodes, often accompanied by feelings of euphoria and extreme highs, is what sets bipolar disorder and depression apart from one another. So those were my notes that I wrote down. Trying to be as knowledgeable as I can about my own disorder in hopes that you guys that want to learn more about it can, or the people that are trying to figure out maybe if they're bipolar. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse. All I can do is share my stories, my symptoms, my struggles, everything I go through with you guys. And I really hope that I'm not just going through a manic episode right now, in doing this, and I hope I return to share this with you guys further. And please feel free to comment. If it's a mean or nasty comment, of course I probably won't reply, because once I do, it's hard to shut it off. So please be positive. This is to try to not only help myself, but to help other people. And yeah, just try to let people know you're not alone. There's a lot of people with bipolar disorder, and it's just now finally getting to where there's some light shed on it. And feel free to ask questions. I will answer very honestly, and hopefully talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching.